Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. I have a ton of beer. Well, I have 3 glasses of beer in front of me. So this must be some kind of taste test we're doing.
Taste test.
Experiment time. So why don't you tell us? I'm going to start tasting. And
You start tasting.
You talk.
So we've set ourselves up here with a triangle test, and I am blind to the test too. We had an assistant come in and carefully pour the beers. Okay, so we've got a triangle test. 2 beers are the same, 1 beer is different. The goal is to pick it out. But more importantly, we're going to talk about the subtleties and the differences between the beers. If you follow our Twitter feed, not too long ago, well, it was like 2 months ago, I brewed up a batch of beer, and I split it into a couple different carboys, and I pitched some different yeasts. And the 2 yeasts that we're focusing on tonight that I pitched was White Labs 001, California Ale Yeast, and White Labs 002, English Ale Yeast. Now, I know I've drank a lot of beers with 001, and we've drank a lot of beers with 002. I can't really say that I've spent a lot of time drinking the same beer brewed with those 2 yeasts side by side. So I thought it might be interesting to just do a triangle test, taste the 2 beers side by side, and see how our palates stack up to what the classic flavor descriptors are to the beers. Let me just give you the quick recipe real quick and tell you what the rationale was. The rationale. Yeah. So it's a pretty simple beer. The starting gravity was 1050, so I went right down the middle of the road. It's American Pale Ale malt, Pale Ale malt, about 77% or 10 pounds. Did 15% of Rahr Pils or 2 pounds. The reason why that's in there is because I just have a bunch of pills I'm trying to use up. And then there's 8% American Caramel 60, which is 1 pound. So it's 10 pounds of base malt, 2 pounds of pills, 1 pound of caramel malt. And then for the hopping schedule, I went with 2 ounces of forced wort hopping Cascade, okay? And then I also did 1 more addition of Cascade 5 minutes before the end of the boil. And so what I was going for with the caramel malt is to try to achieve something that would maybe be accentuated by the English yeast. And with the Cascade first wort hopping, I know there are actually some English beers being brewed in the UK with Cascade hops, but I went for the Cascade hops, and I went with a low mash temperature to try to get a drier beer and maybe see if that helped, if the 001 accentuated that aspect of the beer.
Okay.
So tell me what you're tasting, and I'm going to...
So just to clarify, there's 2 beers here.
2 beers are the same.
But of the 3 glasses, 2 are the same beer. 2 are the same beer. Now, I did an initial taste right through all 3 of them, and I thought I had it pegged.
Ooh.
But then I went back and tasted it again, and then I said...
Yeah, so that's the beauty of the triangle test. You get your first instinct, and then you go a little bit more, and you start second-guessing your...
Well, yeah, things started to taste the same.
I have my first impression right off the bat now, too. But let's talk really briefly. The good thing is I tested this before you came over.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I think that the color is about the same.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to test too, and you're right. I mean, now it might be a little bit lighter.
How would color be affected? I mean, I think one thing that happens is that if you have a yeast that stays in suspension a little bit more, those beers tend to look lighter. Beer that gets clearer tends to look a little darker. And the reason for that is stuff floating reflects more light back at you, so it looks lighter in color. But these both, thankfully, they all have about the same amount of chill haze, so that's working in our favor.
That's good.
I would say, just looking at the glasses real quick, head retention is about the same, especially in your glasses.
Yeah.
So I think head retention is about the same, so that's good. Do you notice any differences in aroma?
I did. I'm not going to reveal my thoughts just yet, but yeah, because that was the first thing I did actually before tasting.
Oh.
Just rewind the video again. You'll see me. I actually took a sniff out of them all.
When I first tasted them, I had an impression. Now my aroma test has given me a different combination.
See, but don't let that happen, because I think that your first impression is probably right. But yes, I'll say that 1 smells sweeter, and the other smells hoppier. And it kind of plays along well. Actually, it lines up perfectly with what I am tasting too, and it's backing up my initial thought of what is what. So I'm just gonna wait until you come up with a final answer.
I think the beers are pretty drinkable.
Yes, they are very drinkable. Look, I mean,
come on.
I had half a. I'm ahead of you a little bit, but. What do you
Okay,
think?
I'm gonna
Ready?
I'm gonna put these two here
Yeah.
and this here. Okay. Now I don't know if our assistant set it up in the
see,
same
I
order,
don't know
but
if she did either.
let me grab the envelope.
You're going off camera.
I'm
man.
off camera. I'm off camera. We didn't plan that out very well.
No, we didn't. But that's okay.
This
I think we had to keep it off camera so
This is a
I wouldn't
home
cheat,
brewed
and you wouldn't cheat.
video operation.
that's right. We're home brewing it.
Okay. So you have the Warren Pub glass,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Willy.
Wild Willy
Yep.
is A
Yep.
and A.
Yep.
The two Bridgeton glasses, which is this and this
Yep.
for me, those are both A.
Yep.
Oh, so that means I've got it wrong.
Uh,
The Magic Hat and Ska
Yep.
is B.
Okay.
So you got it right.
So these two are 001, the American ale yeast. That's
Yeah,
my
A.
pick.
That's A. Is
That's
001.
And this is the English yeast. And I could tell right away, this has such a bigger fruit character coming off the nose, right off the bat. Kind of, it's raisiny in its scent.
See, I felt like I was getting more.
Ah. Especially as it warms up, man. That's why I was sitting here while you were talking. I was like,
No,
putting it in my hand.
true. See, I got more of like a.
Sorry.
Yeah, we should guess which one was American and English before we even.
Well, that's
revealed
what I
it.
said.
That's good.
These two are American.
Oh, okay.
And that's your English.
I just tried to put them the same. I had no idea really what I was thinking about.
So what did you guess?
I've got it split up. I thought that these were the same, but it's actually these are the same.
Ah.
So I confused one of the Americans for the English ale yeast. But
as it warms up, do you?
no, I could definitely. This one's definitely fruitier.
Yeah.
Like you said, and that was my very first impression on this was like, oh, it's almost like a Fruit Loopy aroma. It's really there.
I got a lot of kind of the darker fruits. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little plummy, I think.
This one smells like Cascade to me. This one, for some reason, not as much.
Yeah, this has a very soft, yeasty. This is 001 for sure. That reminds me of like the first.
Does it smell
beer.
like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was fun.
That like softy, soft bread.
Yeah.
Pillowy kind of Wonder Bread type deal. Yeah, that was fun. Thank you for setting this up.
Now we're not going to do this, but I wonder, you probably could. If we did it another time, blind again, would we get it again? But that's the only way to get some statistical relevance out of this. But
I think we should do it again.
But it's fun. It's really fun.
But not right now.
We'd
have to do it, probably.
What we need to do is we should get some other people sometime, and we'll lay it out in front of some people who don't have skin in the game like we do.
Or skills.
Skills. So anyway, so triangle test. There you have it. I'm gonna really enjoy drinking these beers. These are really super drinkable beers.
So how many gallons of each did you make?
72 gallons of each. No, it's 2.5. So actually, so what I did is
you split a batch.
I did more than that. I made 7 gallons of wort, and I split it into 3 fermenters. So there's a third yeast which we haven't tasted here.
So there's another one. So
there's another one.
So there's another triangle test of these two, and then there's another yeast.
Triangle test. Yes.
The other yeast we can't talk about.
We can't talk about that yeast yet.
Yeah, don't talk about it. I want to know, but I don't want to know. You know
well,
what I mean?
Stay tuned.
Okay. For John and Mike, brew-news.com. Experimentation is fun. You should try it and then see if your palate matches up with the descriptors of different yeasts. And I'll tell you, this did. This is much fruitier, much cleaner, much hoppier.
Yeah, drier.
Yes.
The Cascade really stands out there.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
We learned something.
Cheers.
Brew on.